Oladapo Okoyemi Ajayi, and I'm a PhD student at the University of Bayreuth. So, Bayreuth International Graduate School of African Studies. I'm researching on Fuji music and everyday life in contemporary Yoruba urban space. So, basically, you could consider me as the convener of this conference, Falling Apart. That's the theme. Inclusion as an intervention into the Nigerian experience. So, and within the context and the framework of the conference, we had an idea to be more practical with our practice within the academic context, where conference is not just about conference of people like me or even established emerging scholars or established scholars speaking to themselves about ideas. We feel that there's need to connect knowledge production and practice to solution within our own context, as African, as Nigerian, and as a generation as well. There's need to do more in that regard. So that's the basis of why we decide to create an offshoot project that benefits symbiotically from that conference idea for Nigerian undergraduate students. Roughly we have, I think, 36, 37 thereabouts. The number is not certain because some people showed up anyway, in spite of the initial arrangement. And the idea was, and they were put from various schools: Obafemi Awolowo University, University of Ibadan, Bowen University, Federal University of Technology Akure, students of even secondary school leavers, people who are in their 16s, they are in the audience, so people who are seeking admission, and they were required. So they've gone through a series of selection process. They went through a series of selection process. Initially, we have 92 applicants for this knowledge of project. So it's not like they were just like handpicked. They went through application and review process before they emerge as part of the participants. And the idea is, number one, we hope the vision has the effect on very multiple strands. Number one, this is also good for them to network. This is also part of also a way of restoring the dignity of the Nigerian youth back to them. They are important, they are graduates, and they needed to be treated as very important. They are the future. As much as people consider me to be youth, these are the youth now. Me, I'm even retiring. I'm the father of 2 girls now. So I'm not as qualified as youth as them. These are people that would, I hope, shape the future of my own children even more directly than I will. They are likely to be their teachers and their mentors at one point. So, one of the things that we also anchor this idea on is to even think of knowledge from the position of decolonialization. It is time to begin to think of our knowledge as African, as valid as possible. And what do I mean? I think that, and I'm based on my own experience of Nigerian education system that I also was part of. The curriculum seems to be kind of archaic sometimes, and we need to reinvent them, and we need to get rid of many bureaucracy that's kind of overburdening creativity, imagination, and steer knowledge production towards solution as a matter of urgency. It's not even like a luxury anymore. We need that rapidly. So that is really for the policy makers to take more seriously. As individual, as academia, I mean, I do not consider myself as an authority to speak on it, with all due respect. I also think that we need to also be deliberate with how we approach knowledge. And we need to take advantage of the fact that interdisciplinary has come to stay within the academy, where we are not just like defined by your own discipline and orientation. I mean, anybody would assume that, okay, maybe I could also be a sociologist on this. Well, I am supposed to be an expert of literary studies, but thankfully, I've gained a lot from interdisciplinary and mobilizing my thoughts in that direction. So I wouldn't compare like A versus B. The Western education system, the German education system, I've benefited from it greatly. It has enhanced how I think. I've also benefited as a Yoruba person, as a Nigerian, as a product of the Nigerian education system. So both can really cohabit symbiotically. And where we need to improve, I think we should improve. And we know where we should improve, you know. I think until we know that education is a serious business and is connected to our existence, is connected to our vision, and until we know that we have the agency as well through education to forge a future we want for ourselves, I think that's really, I think there seems to be a missing gap between education, academia, and the society itself. That's also one thing we need to take more seriously and reflect on and do more.
And lastly, before you go,
Yeah?
How important do you think critical thinking courses should be introduced in our education system?
Well, you call it critical thinking. That's just an aspect. I would really even just say interdisciplinary. Like, we need to open up the boundaries in every form. And I think if you go through the concept of this program, we are not even thinking of knowledge from the lettered perspective alone, and I mean lettered by the university system. Knowledge is also beyond the university space. Our mothers in the market organize themselves. Our brothers and uncles at the motor park, they have a structure that we need to understand and learn from. We have traditional system that works. We have medicine. We have eco-criticism. We have ecology that is there. The resources is there anyway. So when we think of not discipline as exclusive to one another, when we think of knowledge itself as something that is symbiotically related and is driven and can drive solution, innovation, I think that's the basis. So yes, critical thinking, beyond critical thinking, interdisciplinary thinking is very, very important, and we should do more in that regard.
My name is Folorun Raisa. I'm from Federal University of Technology, Akure, Futa, and I'm studying applied geology.
So how would you rate this conference so far?
So what?
How would you rate the workshop so far?
Wow, it's dope. Although I came here with another perspective that I thought we'd be talking about construction, stuff like that, but I came here and the topics were different entirely. But I'm so glad, because it's aside from my course of study, taking culture as another thing, as another level, as another thing to venture in entirely. It's dope, and the lectures have been awesome so far.
Good day. My name is Olajilo Joseph. I am a fresh graduate and aspiring UNILA candidate. As for the Knowledge Hub conference, it has been a refreshing conference that has enlightened me on certain issues, ranging from gender, technology, and to even political and economic status. As for the conference, it was properly held and the professors are in good condition. And I believe that if more things like this are held in regular basis, it can help to build a more diverse and what's called politically diverse nation, as it is helping shape our understanding of nation building and economic problems.
Everything that I've learned, it's been inclusive and diverse, with the fact that its actual topic is being interdisciplinary. I will rate this conference very high amongst all the conferences I've attended this year.
Which school are you from?
Obafemi Awolowo University.
And what course are you studying?
I'm studying history and international relations.
And do you think this would be of great help to your studies in school?
Yes, it will, because the core of this conference is being interdisciplinary. So I'm taking from different aspects of the conference and imbuing it into my course of study and trying to make something better out of it in general.